When it comes to weight loss, women are often told to try harder or eat less, as if results should be identical to men's under the same conditions. But science tells a different story. Women and men respond differently to diet and exercise, not because one group is more disciplined than the other, but because of deep-rooted biological differences that influence how bodies store and use energy. One of the most frustrating realities for many women is that they tend to lose less weight than men on the same diet and exercise programs. But this discrepancy isn't about motivation, it's about hormones, metabolism, and body composition. Estrogen, for example, promotes fat storage in the hips and thighs, regions that are more resistant to fat breakdown. Women also typically have more subcutaneous fat, which is less metabolically active and harder to burn than visceral fat. On top of that, women naturally carry less muscle mass than men, which means they burn fewer calories at rest. Then there's the menstrual cycle. Fluctuations in estrogen and progesterone across the month can influence appetite, energy levels, insulin sensitivity, and even how the body uses fat for energy. These changes can make weight management feel unpredictable and progress uneven, especially for women with hormonal conditions like POS or perimenopausal shifts. Genetic and metabolic differences also play a role. Some studies show that women's bodies are better at preserving fat in times of calorie restriction, likely an evolutionary trait linked to fertility and childbearing. While this may have once been a survival advantage, it makes modern weight loss efforts slower and more difficult for women than for men. But here's the key insight. Even when weight loss is minimal, women often see significant improvements in health markers when they adopt healthier eating patterns. Diets rich in whole grains, healthy fats, fiber, and antioxidants can lower blood pressure, improve insulin sensitivity, reduce inflammation, and enhance cholesterol profiles, regardless of what the scale says. In some studies, women have shown more cardiovascular benefit from diet changes than men, despite losing less body weight. This is where the danger of a weight-centric mindset becomes clear. If women measure their success solely by pounds lost, they may feel discouraged and abandon behaviors that are actually healing their bodies from the inside out. Just because fat loss is slower or less visible doesn't mean metabolic health isn't improving. In fact, many of the most important changes, reduced arterial stiffness, better blood sugar regulation, improved liver function, don't show up in the mirror, but they're happening all the same. There's also a social warning here. The pressure women face to achieve a certain body type can push them toward extreme diets, overexercising, or disordered eating patterns that ultimately damage their hormonal health and increase long-term disease risk. When the cultural narrative equates health with thinness, women pay the price, sometimes with their metabolism, sometimes with their fertility, and often with their mental health. What's needed is a shift toward a more inclusive and accurate picture of women's health, one that values internal changes just as much as external ones. Hormones, genes, and biology shape the journey in ways that calorie calculators can't explain. But that doesn't mean the journey is any less worthwhile. For women, the scale may move slowly, but beneath the surface, the heart, liver, blood vessels, and brain are often getting stronger, clearer, and more resilient. That's real progress. And it deserves recognition, whether or not the world chooses to see it.